Hello everybody, Mannix here. Going to be doing a quick little knife review on an oddball little knife right here. We have the Sanrenmu 776LUX-GKJ. Yeah, that's easy to remember. This is a knife that was gifted to me years ago. It's a sweet little sharp knife, cheap. You can get these anywhere from 11 to 20 bucks depending on where you go. Very, very cheap. You get a lot for your money. Personally, I don't love it, but I'm not the one who picked it. That usually is what happens when somebody gifts you a knife that you didn't ask for, you didn't necessarily show interest in. Oftentimes, you probably aren't a huge fan of it, but functionally speaking, it is really good, and it is pretty cool looking, although I wouldn't pick it for my looks, but it's not bad. Let's get right into the specs. So, we have a blade length. Actually, I'm going to get, this is on the, these are like overseas websites, and they have everything listed in millimeters. For this review, I was too lazy to convert the millimeters into inches, but then again, there's a lot of people all over the world who watch knife reviews, so we're going to do that we're going to keep them in millimeters for this video. Blade length is 70 millimeters, close length is 93 millimeters, height, what the heck, I'm not going to read that. Open length is 162 millimeters, product weight 54 grams, and we have an 8CR14 MOV blade. It's a satin finish, I believe it is a hollow grind, yeah, that's a hollow grind on there. Dual thumb studs flipper. We have G10 scales right here. Got steel liners in there. They're actually somewhat skeletonized. There's like a little tiny hole. Probably, yeah, you can see it right there. So skeleton, even though that probably doesn't do anything at all. Might save a gram or two that way, but tip up and tip down mountable pocket clip. It is skeletonized. Cool looking lanyard hole. Like there, I really love it when lanyard holes have sort of like a shape to them. They're not just a circle. I think that's cool. Backspacer. I also love backspacers. So pretty cool looking design. I'm not a huge fan of it again, but I do like the orange and gray. It's interesting. Light traction on here. Got some jimping. If you're into that, it's actually very functional. It's very sharp, works very well. So you get skeletonized liners, G10, a jimped spine of the blade, decent blade still, decent heat treatment. You really do get a lot for like 15, 16 bucks, whatever it is. The prices vary, but you just gotta look them up, Amazon, eBay, various websites. I'm sure you'll find it. They have kind of a presentation style setup right here, so they use the non-cutout portions of the, I don't even know, what am I saying? See these spots of the screws that have the Torx heads rather, and then these are the flush sides. They show that on the left side of the knife because that's the one you're showing more. Presentation setup's just kind of cool. Carries very nicely, pocket clips perfect tension, kind of small, really slim, but it works very well. You have a decent amount to grip onto right here. It's not a loop over clip. It'll carry just a little bit lower riding in the pocket clip. If you swap it to tip down, you might be into that. Very smooth, very slick, very fast. It opens up every single time with one flick. You don't need a flick of the wrist. Super strong lockup. Hair to side, but I could adjust it out. No up and down. It's extremely strong. Very strong lockup for what you're getting here. Comfort level? I've seen better. It's not too bad, but I don't know. See, like I wish it was just a little bit longer. I just wish this whole jut out thing of the handle wasn't there at all. I don't know. This portion needs to be a little longer for me, I think. But then again, I have large size hands. Maybe if you're a woman, if you're a child, you have smaller hands, like maybe even medium sized hands. This would probably fit very well in your hand. Maybe it's just designed for smaller hands. It feels very cramped to me. Not super comfortable. 8CR14 MOV blade. It comes out of the box very sharp. Not the absolute most razor sharp I've seen, obviously, but very sharp and it lasts a decent amount of time too. It's a soft steel, so even when it does dull on you, just takes a couple passes on ceramic or so, strop it up again, then it's nice and sharp. It's very easy to resharpen these softer steels. Haven't had any rust issues or anything like that. I had this knife for years. Didn't use it that much, but I don't really know what else I can say about it. It's just a lightweight, strong, fast, sharp, cheap little knife with any huge downsides other than maybe the ergonomics, but yeah, and it's not lefty friendly either, sorry. I like the blade shape. Kind of I guess I would call it a clip point. I'm going to call that a clip point. Some may call it a drop point, whatever. Very good for piercing, slicing. If you're into the whole tactical thing, this could be a very good makeshift tactical blade, even though it's really tiny. You have the grippiness there. Very sharp, pointy blade. And for the smaller blades, if it's really pointy, it doesn't take anything. It's just a slight little, pierce. You can stab right through a lot. Small knives should not be laughed at, I don't think. Anyway, that is it. That is the Sanrenmu Sanrenmu 776LUX-GKJ. If you're interested in it, there you go.